Hey, so today we're going through my little list of life, and today we're going to talk a little bit about support systems. I feel like today we're going to talk about support systems, but we are, so here we are. One of the things that when I was very, very heavy, I eliminated my support system. I didn't talk to anybody, even online. I barely played video games with anybody. I play a lot of video games because that was the only place that I could move like everybody else. So it was kind of my safe haven. And when even that wasn't bringing me comfort and I was isolating from even that, that's when I really knew I was in trouble. But I barely talked to anybody for probably about a year. I really barely talked to anyone at all. So I do know what it's like to feel extremely isolated and worthless. And like my whole idea was that, pull away from everybody so that when I inevitably die, people will be like, oh, I remember her. She was nice, but it won't be like this dagger to the heart. Yeah, super healthy, right? But that's what I thought. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about was how important it is to build a support system. And one of the things I have on my list is sometimes you think that there are people that are supposed to support you. There are certain roles in your life that you think that these are going to be the people that I'm going to be able to lean on. And if it turns out that you can't, it can be really difficult. What I will tell you is that I built from the ground up as far as my support system went. I made an entirely new Facebook. I joined the DDPY is the exercise program that I use. It's the exercise program of Diamond Dallas Page. It's a combination of yoga, strength resistance or strength training, dynamic resistance, and basically it's designed to not like tear your body apart while you're trying to strengthen it. And so that's the community that I joined because it was a bunch of people who were doing the same thing I was doing. And so that's what I would suggest to you. If you end up doing DDPY, you can come over there and say hi to me. But whatever it is that you decide to do, Weight Watchers, there's all kinds of Facebook groups. I've just started looking for different kinds of weight loss, just support on Facebook. That's my chosen platform because it's a little bit more private. When I first had my Facebook that I made, I literally just had like 4 or 5 people on it that I thought that was going to be it because I was so ashamed and I was so self-conscious and insecure. I didn't want anybody seeing my face. I didn't want to talk about my journey with anybody. I didn't want any of that. And now I have like 100 whatever people, and look at me talking on the internet about this. Huh. Okay. That doesn't tell you the power of therapy. I don't know what does. But as far as getting a support system, it is so important. And you'll see me looking over here because I want to make sure I don't forget anything. But even if you're starting with nothing, it is possible to create a support group around you. Start online. You can just be a lurker and read and be encouraged by people's posts. That's what I did with DDPY. I didn't really talk very much. I just watched other people do well and I watched other people struggle. And it actually helped me to see other people struggling because not that I wanted them to, but it helped me realize that we all struggle and not feel like such a jerk about it. Um, so I would suggest that. I'm also in a group, I don't know the name of the surgery, but whatever it is that's going to make me get all of my, stomach stuff fixed once I do. I get to see surgery pictures of people who are getting the surgery that I'll inevitably have one day. And that helps me a lot too, because it's like I kind of get to know what to expect and the pitfalls and the victories and everything with that. Um, it is possible. And you know the old saying, if you want friends, be friendly. It's true. If you just get out there and be a little bit friendly. If you're an introvert, I understand. I really do understand. I am an extroverted person, but talking to people actually depletes me quite a bit. So I need my space as well as contact with human beings. But the important thing is having an outlet for your feelings other than food or isolation or anything else that might be destructive. Oh gosh, I can't even tell you the difference that it's been. I actually had therapy today. That's why this is on my mind. Um, he said to me today that, when I had met you a year and a half ago, that Christy would never have done the thing we were talking about. She wouldn't have had the confidence to do this thing. And here I was kicking myself about this thing that I was doing. And he was like, you don't understand how much growth you've had. Having somebody else be able to mirror your life back to you, even if it's just a friend or a family member, whatever it is, having somebody else's perspective sometimes can really be helpful. Because there was this thing I was kicking myself in the butt about that was actually a huge victory, and I had no idea. So that's something I would suggest to you is one, if you're starting with nothing, join some kind of a group, okay? Even if you don't talk in it, just join a group online. If you can't get out to go join like a real group, because I didn't join a real group, I can't go up walking around, my hip is too janky. But I could join an online group. It helps. There are people going through the exact same thing, people who understand, who aren't going to judge you because we're all doing the same thing, right? So give that a try. I'll link the DDPY one below, and the penectomy. I don't know what it's called, but it's the fix your stomach surgery. So I'll put that down there too if you're interested. You want to remember that there is a world around you, and while it continues to turn, you can be a part of it. That is something I think I forgot as I was getting so heavy and isolated, that I just forgot that I could be part of the world, and I still am figuring that out, even now. So it takes a little bit of a process, but these were my first steps, and I just wanted to offer those to you. Other things that you can do is ask for help from people that you liked in the past. If you have, high school friends, if you have college friends, if you have from things that you used to do, there are people who love you and they're wondering what happened to you. So reach out, talk to them. Even if you're not like, I'm going through this huge thing, just be like, hey, I was thinking about you. I'm wondering how you are. Some people I actually just reached out and said, hey, you've always been really kind to me and I really love you. And I'm going through this thing and I would love your support. And that's how I ended up, kind of getting people on my Facebook was reaching out to old friends. And it has rejuvenated old friendships and given me such a shot in the arm to realize that I mattered to people and that I continue to matter to people over a period of time, that it has something to do with my weight, but just who I am as a person is valuable. And the same thing is true of you. Who you are, sight unseen, weight unknown, you are valuable. And that is something that we forget sometimes, that we think that we have to do something to be worth the air that we're breathing. No, just by existing, you are worthy of the air that you're breathing. You are worthy of space. You are worthy to be heard. And those are things I would have never, ever said about myself a year and a half ago. So I understand if you don't feel that way right now, but I wanted to tell you that someday, maybe you'll get to the point where you can believe that. And I'm still working on it over here. So I understand like how difficult it can feel. But man, we all have something to say and we all have something to teach. We all have something to learn. And being separate from everybody really sucks. I know that people can suck and that the internet can be a yucky place, but it can also be an awesome place. One of the things when I was very isolated, the reason I didn't talk to anybody is I thought that I would be judged for my weight. I thought that people wouldn't like me anymore. I thought that people wouldn't support me. I thought I would lose all my friends because I was big. Dun dun dun, like there was some mortal sin. And I still struggle with that, honestly. But one of the things that surprised me over the last year and a half is that not one person has been mean to me. Every person I have spoken to has been kind, has been thoughtful, has been supportive. And even the people that I thought were going to be in judgment of me, no, not one person has been mean. Now, I'm sure there will be in the future some jerk that'll come and say something and whatever. I'm getting to the point now with the hooray for therapy that I think I'd be able to handle it pretty well and just be like, oh, you think I'm big now? Should have saw me a year and a half ago. You have no idea the strength it takes to live this life. Yeah, like that for me is a big deal. I was terrified. My very best friend, who I'd known for 6 years, had only seen a picture of me that was like 6 years old, never saw my face because I was so ashamed. I was in a long distance relationship where I hid my body for so long because I was so ashamed. I was terrified. I spent all of my time worrying about what people were going to think of me. And then when I actually let them in, everybody was fine. And I wasted so much time and energy worrying about what I looked like. And we'll get into body image and stuff like that later, but I feel like that's a bigger topic than what we're doing today. Pun intended, I guess. But support systems are so important. So, so number one, join a group, asking for help. Number three, ask for help from the people that maybe were in your life before that aren't now, or who are in your life right now. But just ask for help and reach out and reconnect some old relationships. And if you have the ability, get number four, if you have the ability, get a counselor, a therapist, use a pastor, whatever it might be, where you have somebody who is unbiased, who will sit and listen to your problems and give you feedback based in experience and knowledge and wisdom. Very, very, very important. And don't get stuck, number five, don't get stuck in the pitfalls of the people who should help you aren't, because people got their own stuff going on. People have different abilities, and some people aren't trained to be able to support. Some people aren't good at supporting because they're insecure themselves. There's all kinds of things, and sometimes we'll put like, if I can't get help from this person, I'm not worthy to be helped. No, there's always somebody who will listen. There, and if you're really in crisis, there's a crisis text line, which is when you don't even have to call them, you can text them, and they'll help you find resources. If you're like truly in like an urgent crisis, or you're feeling like you might want to harm yourself or anything like that, contact places like that. There are places for free that you can talk to people. Reach out. There are resources. And gosh, I just hope you're doing some of these things, because the things I'm suggesting to you are things that were really my lifelines through this process. And it took me a year and a half to be able to sit here and talk to you about stuff. So it's a process. You have to feel it to heal it, was something I read, and I was like, yeah, it sucks. You do have to feel things and you have to go through pain. But man, once you do go through it, you come out of it so much stronger with such a different perspective. So that's today's support system lesson, and I hope it was helpful. And if there's anything else you need, just let me know, and I'll try and help if I can. And if I don't know, I'll try and find out. So we'll see. I love you. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.